Oh baby, you got questions I need, and I'm asking.
What's good? We back again for episode 10 of Asking for a Friend, and I am honored and pleasured to have one of my good friends here today to gain a little bit of insight through different perspectives and such, right? So today's episode is going to be really, really dope in the sense of we're going to be learning about something that I think is very misunderstood from people who judge, kind of like CrossFit in the sense of people judge it without even never trying it or even understanding what it is and what it's about. So episode 10 today is going to be asking for a friend, like what is it like being a strong woman in today's society? So with that being said, there's we always had a strong inclination of like women in sports and women in the workplace and things like that, and I think that it all stems from being just a strong individual in itself and not necessarily looking at a man as being stronger or even better than a woman, because I have somebody here today who's a lot more dedicated than most men that I know and very strong in her regard. So without further ado, I got Miss Carolyn here today. She is, I'm not even going to say anything. I don't want to introduce. I want her to, tell you what she is and what she does. So, Miss Carolyn, can you introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Carolyn Jamison. I'm an IPE pro, which I got in bikini, but now I actually am a figure competitor for NPC. So the bigger you get, the more you have to move up. So now fighting for another pro card. I run J Street Gym. I also run CHOP, which is Carl's House of Pain, which is body tempering and getting into sports massage as well, along with a bunch of other stuff to help with healing and whatnot, taking care of any athletes that are inside of the gym. And then I'm kind of just like the big bouncer of the gym. I don't get paid for it, but I like to kick people out. It's just my thing.
Why would you kick people out of the gym?
Oh, you gotta have gym etiquette.
Like, give me some examples, though.
Okay, so not racking weights correctly. You get one warning from me. The second warning, I kick you out for the day. You come back, you do it again, and I'll just revoke your membership. Take care of your equipment. The gym's there. It's 24 hours. There's not always staff around, so we just ask people, take care of it. If you can't, bye. Right. And then sneaking in people, like that's a thing. Like they'll be like, no one's here. Come to the gym. You don't have to pay the $10 day fee. We have cameras everywhere.
I can understand that. If it's a 24-hour gym, like, hey man, just come work out with me, I got you. Mm-hmm. So y'all like look at that.
I do when I'm there. I had 4 people walk in on a girlfriend's membership, and I would have been cool with it, but they lied to me. Don't lie to me. So I'm smart. So to get into the door, you have to have a Viz pen, which is on your phone. It's an app. So I asked all of them. I was like, let me see your Viz pens, because they're like, yeah, we're members. And I was like, oh, interesting.
They didn't know who you were.
No, I'm the sneaky one. I just look normal. And I was like, let me see it. And they're like, oh, man, bye. And they left, and I was like, don't come back, please. So
man, you don't even like that type of person that be like me like that to people.
Yeah, I like my gym. And I like people to respect it.
Okay, that's fair.
It's a one place for you to come in to have a fun. It's a grown-up's playground, but respect it and respect the people around it.
That's fair.
Play fair, right?
So have you ever physically had to hey bro, had to put your hands on the guy, but hey, it's time for you to go, player?
I kicked out Milton and Layla. That one was a little rough. That one wasn't a nice kick out, but...
How'd they feel about it?
I haven't talked to them since, so I'm sure they weren't too great about it.
Oh man, I can imagine.
They got the message of don't come back.
So yeah, especially in Arkansas, how all the gyms are shutting down and everything, so it's a limited only places that, especially bodybuilders and heavy lifters can necessarily go with, what is it, what was the other gym? Fitness for Less just closing, so.
Yeah.
That's
and that's where it's really hard is gym membership, just because, we're more of a training facility than we are a normal gym. We have all the pro athletes there, so we actually have the second strongest woman in the world that actually trained. Yep, Julie, for Strong Woman. We have about 6 natural pro bodybuilders. Okay. We have 3 BFF bodybuilders, IBFF. So
And for the people who don't know, can you say like what's BFF and
IBFF. So that's NPC. NPC bodybuilding. Being an IBFF pro puts you like where you're working towards Olympia stage and the Arnold stage.
What does it stand for?
IBFF? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not there yet.
Right.
I'm literally, so for my perspective on things, I'm literally crossing over from the natural organization over to NPC. So I'm learning a whole lot of new stuff. So a lot of...
Is it natural like drug tested or something?
So when we're natural bodybuilders with the NAMBIF, NAMBIF is drug tested and polygraph tested. So we actually go through a polygraph test every single show and a drug test and a drug screening every single show to make sure that you're not on anything. And then if you get busted or you're caught, you're out for 7 years. Wow. And we'll revoke your pro card on top of that, and you cannot come back to compete for them for 7 years.
Okay.
So it's a very strict type of organization, but it makes it really nice for the competitors that do not want to do any enhancement drugs to be able to still do bodybuilding and still have, you know, a good chance against competition. Because if you put an enhanced person next to a non-enhanced person,
it's completely different.
It is a completely different. It's a completely different look. Girls get different types of shoulders. I mean, their glutes look completely different. It literally builds a denser muscle, so it gives you an all-around different look than what you would if you were building that dense muscle naturally.
Okay.
So there would just be no competition, honestly. I mean, now bikini. There are a bunch of natural bikini people that are in NPC that have no issue. You know, they're the bikini. You're the smallest of the small. Figure. I've heard of 90% of the girls saying that they are. You never know, unless like you're like
they're polygraphed or whatever.
Yeah, or unless they just tell you. And then when you get into physique, man, I'm just like.
Everything is so big.
It's so big.
So those are like 4 divisions, right? So you got bikini. You got
figure,
physique, and then you got like the...
So they have women's bodybuilding. So they did take it away for a little while because like people weren't wanting to come and see this, you know, because the women were, you know, they look like men. They really, really do. But the thing about it is when you look at a woman that went through that to get one that lean, that big, and what she had to go through to get that, that's what's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, she created something that no other woman, you have to be beyond dedicated. Like, I couldn't even build that.
Right.
So people were like shying away from it though, you know. They wanted to see the freaks, but they want to see the men freaks, not the women freaks.
Yeah.
It wasn't attractive. So they actually took it away. But they're saying they're coming back with it. And
that was in 2015?
15 or 14.
Yeah.
And then now they added more divisions as well. They added a wellness division, which I'm really confused by wellness.
Isn't that like I seen one of them, they had posted it, and it was like for women who have bigger legs, right?
Right, so
like bigger glutes, bigger quads.
And it blows my mind, because bodybuilding is about symmetry.
Right.
So here we are with a tiny bikini top with figure...
Massive legs.
Massive legs. Like, I'll have to show you a picture. I do have one on my phone that, like, these girls... I looked at that and I was like, well, maybe I'll go wellness, because I do have bigger legs. I saw those, I was like... What is happening?
So they got bigger legs and like normal upper bodies, I guess you could say?
They have like a bikini upper body and a physique to figure lower legs. It's insane. Okay. It's definitely a unique look. I'm very confused by it because I'm trying to figure out how they judge it. Because like most of the time, so I judge for natural. Right. I do that and I compete with the same organization. But when I judge for them, you know, the very first thing is they walk out, we look at symmetry. It's like a symmetry round. So, you know, they do their quarter turns, we're looking at them, and we're judging the symmetry of each person. The better symmetry, we're going to bring them into the top 5. Right. Okay, and then now you got
That's what you call like the pre-show, I guess you could say.
the pre-judging.
Pre-judging, yeah.
And so we're sitting there and we're looking at them and we're like, okay, so symmetry, these are the top 5 with the best symmetry. Now you start picking them apart, like, okay, who fits the criteria? So if it's bikini, we don't want striations in bikini. We don't want veins in bikini. They're a nice, soft, sports-like body. So we still want the muscle, but we don't want the dryness, right? And the super leanness. They need to be a little bit softer. So you have bikini girls that come in, striation, shoulders, veins coming up their abs.
So that's a problem. Like they're too ripped.
They're too lean. And you know how hard it is to tell a competitor you came in too lean? Damn. Okay, that happened to me too. It has sucked.
Like when you just work so hard, you're like, hey bro, you're too good.
That's exactly what I felt. She's like, her words were, I love her to death, and I'll never forget her. She's like, you were the best body on stage, but you were just too lean for the criteria. And I got placed fourth because I was too lean. And then here's this little girl that was so adorable. She deserved it. She fit the criteria really well. Yeah. But she looked like she almost just got out of a pool and didn't diet or anything. She was just a nice, cute little body. I was like, what?
So is that your motivation for like going to the next level, I guess, to physique?
So no, I wasn't ever. I love bikini. Bikini is more my criteria of personality because it's like you come on the posings really flirtatious, really sexy, and you can have fun with it. If you ever watch all my T-walks, I pick stripper music. Yeah. Because you can have sex appeal with it. Right. Figure, no, you're like, what's up, bro? I mean, you're like, yeah. You have to flex on stage really hard. You're holding lat spreads. You're holding these poses where you're flexing all your muscles. One, it's exhausting and it's not fun to be up there, and it's uncomfortable. All the posing is super uncomfortable. Why you do it? Because I love the change of body. I actually don't do it for the stage. I like trophies. I mean, I don't mind trophy room. Yeah. But I actually do it because I love to watch my body go through these crazy changes. Change is one thing that's necessary in life. Two, it's one of the most phenomenal things to watch, especially when it's happening to yourself and you are the one that has control of it.
That's pretty dope.
So to literally go, look at me now, okay? When you met me right before stage. Right. I was 8% body fat. Look at me now.
What are you at now?
Oh, definitely not no 8%.
Is it like 10% or something?
Shit, I don't know. I don't want to check. I don't check when I'm fat. This is what I call it. No, I know people don't get it, but when you come down, I'm up 20 pounds from where I was. To me, that's a lot of weight. You feel that way, especially when you're 8%. So
you look good, though. I mean,
thank you. I got my butt back, and it fits in my tights. That's the important part.
I mean, that ain't necessarily a problem if it don't fit.
Well, I always tell people like when I get skinny, because you get the diet face. You look like a crackhead. Your cheeks suck in, your eyes suck in. You have this crazy diet face. And like I got down to 8% and I took a DEXA scan to make sure that it was correct. And DEXA scan is made to check your bone density for cancer. But it's the number one, it's the highest percentage of being correct on any type of fat type test.
Is that like the things that you see like in fitness when you like hold the
No, see those aren't very accurate. I mean they're good to keep your pace, but they're not 100% accurate, which there is no test that's 100% accurate, but DEXA scan is the number one rated test. And there's only one in Northwest Arkansas. And Dr. Rader has it. I think I'm saying his name right. And you go in and it's almost like a little x-ray. You lay down. I did a whole little video on it. Yeah. And it literally does like the water, the muscle, the fat. It tells you everything that's in your body, all the way down to bone density. Right. And what's really, really fun is with this, I actually, because I do the body tempering, which builds bone density.
It does?
Yeah, you're putting weight on your bones. So I think when I did your hamstrings, I put 470 pounds on your bones. It's just like putting 470 pounds on your back. You're just laying parallel. So
I'm just a beast, though.
You handled that 470 very well. Yeah, but you know what's so adorable about the situation? I'm going to go into this because this got called out to me.
Let's go.
Okay, so I met one of your buddies at the gym. I can't remember his name, but he did come up to me and he's like, "Hey, you're Carl, right?" No, that just always makes me giggle. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Carl." And he's like, "So you do the rollers?"
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about Andy.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's the first time I ever talked to him or met him or even seen him in the gym. And he's like, "So you worked on my friend Jay?" He's like, "Man." He's like, he told me he was a tough cookie in there and he didn't break. But he's like, "God dang it, she hurt me."
Man, I was in there and I was like, because like when you said it, you was like, "Hey, how does this feel?" I was like, "Man, I'm a dude." And like naturally as a man, I'm like, "Man, I'm not finna say this shit hurt." But I'm like, I was like, I know it's gonna feel better tomorrow though. But I was like, for right now, it's like just don't complain. But that's just me though, because like my pain tolerance is so high in my mind. I feel like I don't never want to be a wuss. So I'm like, even if I'm getting like tattoos or whatever the case may be, I'm always like, nah, it don't hurt.
Not at all.
I mean, because I don't ever want to show it. Even if it do hurt, you're not gonna know it because I'm not gonna say nothing.
No, you didn't. You handled it really well. Like I was like, oh, when he said it, it shocked me. I was like, oh, he didn't say a day. You were just quiet, which that should have been. Usually, when you're quiet, you're like trying to lose yourself because of fucking.
Yeah, I just want to just like zone out, you know. So like I guess so now we went off into a tangent and it's perfect. But the cool thing is like so for people who listening, I just want to get like a little short history of I guess you could say bodybuilding, right? So like not to go too in depth, but basically bodybuilding was created by ancient Greeks and Egyptians, right? So in the beginning, it wasn't made for what it is for now. Lifting weights and to create muscles was originally just for entertainment. So it wasn't about like therapy and like people trying to, be better human beings and things like that. It actually started as a circus sideshow as, they called it the Great Show, whereas people would, I guess you could call it like a freak show. People would change their first bodybuilding competition in 1891, which is pretty dope that I found out that bodybuilding has been around for over 100 years, which I had no idea that it was going around that long. And basically how it transformed for women was in 1980 in Miss Olympia, the very first woman who won, the first female bodybuilder was Rachel McLish. I guess you could say her name. I don't want to mess her name up. Hopefully that's right. And then Joan Marie Lauer.
That one's hard.
Yeah, I mean, what most people know is China from like WWF and everything like that. And I remember seeing her when I was like in high school. I was like, man, she's big. Like, and then like every time like she would talk, like, man, her voice is like really deep. Like, dude,
China.
My name's China. And he was like, man, like that's a woman. But regardless of the fact, I think that it was pretty dope to see, like kind of like you said, like somebody wanting something so bad and like coming from firsthand from like discussing with you how it was like when you used to work at Walmart, like how you would get up and you had to be at work at 5, so then you would work at 3 a.m. Like I thought I was pretty sick with it, waking up at 4:30. I'm like, yeah, I wake up at 4:30, it's not a big deal. And you're like, yeah, I get up at 3, and I'm like, damn, like that's early. Like, nah, I can't, And then like I remember just talking to you a couple times, and it was like you would say like literally like you go off like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and like I just think like man, like salute to you, because that's like a lot of times when I look at bodybuilding and as I think about it, people be like, oh man, like they look like dudes, and I'm like, but at the same time, it's like I think the discussion when people talk about like steroids and testosterone is pretty stupid, because like when we talk about like Lance Armstrong, like yeah, you could say he used performance enhancing and whatever, but let's just be honest, like Lance Armstrong never tested positive for anything. It was just people were snitching on him. But at the same time, I think that you still have to put the work in, and you still have so much to do. There's never a case of, oh, I'm gonna take steroids and boom, I'm big.
I know.
So like when people talk about it, I'm like, I think that's a blind statement to say that you could take steroids or you could take performance enhancing drugs and now you're instantly super big or super strong, and it's just not like that. I think that you still have to put the work in, and I think that if you want to be natural, then there's a division for that, and there's if you want to do whatever enhancements that you may take, there's a division for that. So I don't think that either side personally can judge the other side, because that's your choice. Like you choose to do it. It's like if you don't like it, then don't watch it. You know. So I mean that's just me. But going back to a little history tip, in 2005 it says the Olympia implemented the 20% rule, right? So the 20% rule is asking women to decrease their muscular body content by a factor of 20%, which throughout bodybuilding they kind of looked at it as like women being too masculine.
Yes.
So I'm just curious, like going into it, like what made you like want to get into bodybuilding? Like why not body pump or like CrossFit or like anything else? Like what made bodybuilding so spectacular to you?
So it's funny you say body pump stuff. So I was one of the top instructors for World Gym. I taught 28 classes a week.
I remember that actually.
Like 10 of them were body pump. I was into body pump. That's what kind of got me started, was actually in the gym, was teaching these classes. I actually went with one of my friends and then started going to a turbo kick class, and she's like, you're really good at this. You should teach it. And I was like, huh? And so I got certified, and then one certification. I like to collect stuff and anything that's going to like make my life better. So trophies shows my success. Certificates shows my knowledge and success. So those are like my 2 top things to collect.
Right.
And so I started just getting certified for everything that I could. Body pump was one of them. That was the worst certification of my life.
Why?
I hurt so bad.
To get certified to do body pump is hard.
Don't bite me. That's when you should have seen me. Okay, if you look on my Facebook, I posted some pictures and videos of me when I was tiny. I was like, I was the size of my wrist. Right. So to do 1,000 reps of weights, which I never did, all I taught was spin and did cardio. I did cardio, but then I was like, all right. Then I started seeing changes, like with the body pump. Because body pump added weights now into what I was doing, and I was like. Thought I was all that, man. I was like, look at this bicep. Oh my gosh. And it was like a little tiny bump. But I could see it. And then, like, that got me obsessed with wanting to teach more body pump. So I actually started picking up more body pump classes. And I actually saw a girl in the gym. You probably know her, Jennifer Wolf.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw her in the gym. And I always admired her. She's always been muscular. She was a figure competitor. And she's loud, obnoxious, super fun. And I kept looking at my friend Becky. Becky would go to all my classes with me. And she's actually my roommate. I'm like, Becky. I want to talk to her one day. I don't know why that bitch scared the fuck out of me. I was so scared of Jennifer Wolf because she's loud, obnoxious, and like big. So I was like, what if I make her mad? She'd kick my ass.
Yeah.
But finally one day I got the balls and I went up to her and I was like, I want to look like you. How do I look like you? I know you're a bodybuilder. What do I got to do? And she's like, girl, you don't have to look like me to bodybuild. And I'm like, well, I can't look like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a twig. So what can I work out with you? She's like, sure. And then that's when I met Lino and Ohm and a bunch of other people, and they kind of took me under their wing. And she talked to me about bikini competitions, and it was so funny because I go, I'm not no hoe. And she goes, what? And I go, that's like Mike Flizzin' barbecue, right? Where you have to get in the skanky bikini and get in front of these drunk people at a bar. I'm not doing that.
So you were just completely like, nah, you didn't know nothing about
nothing. Bodybuilding was big, huge muscle bodybuilding in my head. So like completely not knowledgeable of anything. But I always thought like to look like her was, and you know she's muscular, but she's not manly.
Right.
No, she's not super manly. She still has that really nice feminine look to her, but just with my
How do you feel about that though? Like the Miss Olympias, like the like. I mean, I guess you could say women.
So the bodybuilding. So I look at them and I'm wowed by what they have done.
Right.
Like you said, I don't give a crap what drug you take. There's no such thing as a miracle drug. You work your ass off for that look.
Right.
You work your bone. Like, I don't think people really understand what bodybuilders go through to look like that. I go through a quarter, maybe a half of what they go through to look like that.
Right.
Because they're bringing it down to 4%. No woman should ever be down by double digits. These girls are getting down to 4% body fat. And on top of that, had to build 20 pounds of lean muscle.
Right.
During their off season. That is in the gym hours at a time. That is doing cardio to get it lean enough and to actually get everything where it needs to be. It's working on symmetry, posing, then the food intake. But
do you think that it kind of goes contradictively to when people talk about health and wellness and fitness and things like that, and we look at bodybuilders, and it's like you're pushing your limits, and like a woman being that low on body fat, like basically not having any breasts or not even doing this and this and that, like is that necessarily, doesn't that kind of contradict like being healthy?
Well, I will tell you this, bodybuilding has never been in a health sport. They look at their bodies as like, holy crap, that's nice and lean. Okay. For men, you know, you can get down to 4% and it's fine, and you can still be really healthy doing it, because you can eat a lot. You got to build your metabolism to handle it, but you can still eat a lot. You're not starving yourself to get that low down. But are we healthy? That is a funny question. No. Especially like 2 weeks out to the show, like they do deplete their bodies of a lot of nutrients, mainly water, to get that lean and dry look. Especially when you're talking about women bodybuilders and men bodybuilders, because they have to have the striations, they have to have the cuts.
So they have to be technically dehydrated.
They have to be grainy. We don't want them super grainy, but they need to be grainy. They have to be dry. And even figure competitors, bikini are about the last ones that don't have to do a whole lot of depletion. And honestly, the depletion depends on your coach.
Right.
I have never went into a competition dehydrated. I drank 2 gallons of water the week before, which of course I'd still dehydrate you. You know, you're drinking so much, you're peeing everything out. So now it's the vice versa. You're still getting water, you're still happy, but you're still dehydrating yourself in the long run. So you're still getting that nice dry look without being miserable or without actually causing a whole lot of damage to your system. Right. Unlike some of the coaches believe in, if you're an NPC Lasix, believe in, okay, you get 8 ounces of water that day.
8 ounces of water a day? Oh, no.
Just that day, not for everything, but for that day. So you take your water pills, you drink 2 gallons with those. Then the day before you cut out, you only get like from 2 gallons a half gallon. Now the next day you cut to 1/4 of a gallon. Then the next day it's 8 ounces. And
so people don't necessarily, like you said, people don't necessarily look at it as a health and wellness type of thing. It's more like this. My body is my art and my canvas. I guess you could say.
It's exactly what it is. So if you want to look at almost any sport, none of them are super healthy. Like,
not at the most elite level. I guess
they're not. We're not. We almost kill ourselves to get to elite levels. And there are people. I mean, look at Eddie Hall. Look what he did and what he went through to pull those world record deadlifts in strongman. I mean, he literally almost died, but now look at him now.
Was that the dude who like had blood shooting out his nose on the deadlift?
Yeah, and I actually just posted it. I don't know if you saw it.
I was there.
Okay, you saw that?
I watched it as it happened. That was at the Arnold, not last year, but the year before that, right?
A couple of years ago, yes.
Yeah. And I remember seeing him like pick that up, and because he had the little kilt on or something.
Yeah.
And then he started pulling, and like all that blood started shooting out his nose. I was like, oh no, no.
Yeah. So I mean, and even like look at Frony, your CrossFitter Frony.
Yeah.
Look what Frony goes through. I watched that guy try to get 502 overhead. Okay, when that boy maxes out his body like I've never seen in my life, and I know you guys are all about reps and overhead, but that much weight overhead and that much jarring and that much dedication. I watched him try almost 30 times to get this lift. Didn't get it. Next day came back. Another 30 times. Didn't get it. Right. And then it took almost a week, but then he finally got it. When he got it, it was like victory. But look what he was doing to his body. 30 times of that jarring and the compression. Right now, I'm dealing with some neck issues. I'm all tied up. I'm going to a chiropractor. I go to a sports medicine or a sports massage therapist as well to get worked on twice a week. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I body temper myself every single day, and I hang and decompress myself every day. And I'm still, I still get kinks and injuries.
So it's worth it to you, though.
It is. To me, it is worth every single penny. I like the way that I look. I like the way that I feel. And everybody has their means of things, whether it's alcohol, drugs. Mine is gym.
Right.
You know me very well. I will not give up anything or for anybody if it's my gym time. I'm like, that's my time.
And I can totally understand and respect it. I think that a lot of times in what we as people, what we don't understand is like I was telling people all the time, is like people don't understand the dedication and what we really want to do. But at the same time, it's like it's not meant for you to understand because it's not your path and it's not your dream. And I think that even in society, not to get off on a motivational tip, but I think that it's very imperative that you have to live for you and have to do what's important to you. And if they don't get it, then so be it.
That's so funny because remember I was telling you when we were talking about strong women, that's a strong woman right there. It's a strong person, not just a strong woman. A lot of people can't get that. They care too much what society thinks of them, and they care about too much of what other people are. Oh, well, why are you doing this? Why are you? How many people give me diet tips or want to feed me a hamburger when I'm 8% or try to tell me that I'm doing things wrong, and I'm like, okay, thanks, high five, bye.
Right.
I can listen to you and listen to your opinion, but everyone has an opinion.
Yeah, like booty holes, everybody got one. So I mean, I 100% get that, and I think that it goes without saying that a lot of times when people talk about bodybuilding, right? Like how society views bodybuilding is like, oh my God, that's so disgusting because they're not feminine and they don't have any boobs or I honestly think when I hear guys talk about it, it's more or less insecurities within themselves. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I tell you a perfect example. I love fitness, right? So I go to Global Gyms in the morning and I do my workout. And I remember having a guy come up to me. He's like, man, what do you do? He's like, you look like one of those guys that don't do that pussy CrossFit. And I was like, I was like, actually, that's all I do. He said, but I see you in the gym. And I was like, when people think about CrossFit, my point is this, I think that a lot of times when people talk about CrossFit, it's kind of not to get into politics, but I think that when somebody says something, somebody else just runs with it. It's like, CrossFit is stupid, you get hurt. Okay. And then other people say, CrossFit is stupid, it gets hurt, and just keeps getting regurgitated. And I tell people, you can get hurt doing anything. I can walk out in traffic with a helmet on and get hit by a car and get hurt. And like you said, in bodybuilding, you push your body to so many different limits. So it's like my respect is different because I feel like regardless of what you do, you're not sitting on the couch. You know, you don't got diabetes. You know, not no disrespect to people who got that, but at the same time, it's like you don't have any health conscious defects that other people have because you're doing what's best for you. And like I remember C.T. Fletcher saying, like, he's like, if I die on the bench press, I'd rather die on the bench press than die at my house, you know, on the couch. So with that being said, I think that as people, like, that's kind of like one of the reasons I started this podcast. Like, I want people to gain understanding through perspective. It's like, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's stupid. Like, when people talk about CrossFit, like, name me one person that got hurt by CrossFit. Like, oh, it's like, you just saying stuff like that you hear, and it's so frustrating because like we talk about bodybuilding, and it's like I have to catch myself sometimes like, man, yeah, she like a dude, but I'm like, okay, Jay, but like that's what she want to look like, and if you don't like it, then somebody like it,
right?
You know, so I don't necessarily think that anymore, but I think like now it's like I look at the work that goes into it because like talking to people like you, and I'm like, dang, like to look like that, I mean, she has to do a lot.
And you don't think I look like a dude?
No, 100% no. But then I think on the flip side of that, it's like the sacrifice that we make daily. Because like if you look at Ronnie Coleman, like my man got all of these accolades and like legit, and my man can't even really walk.
Nope.
So it's like, I guess my question is like, is it worth it? I guess so. You know, because you get to that age and it's like, I mean, in that moment, I couldn't imagine what it's like being on the stage and like the crowd going crazy and people like yelling your name. And I remember watching the little Ronnie Coleman videos when I was growing up, and it would be like, lightweight, baby. And I'm like, that was him, you know? So
Yep.
the thing is that when we look at it, and it's like we're so quick to judge, but we don't even know, like, you know, like you can play college football and get hit and get concussions, and people think that's stupid too.
90% of bodybuilders or anyone in the gym don't get hurt in the gym. They get hurt doing something stupid at home.
I can see that. So I guess my next question going into it is like how do you see yourself in the mirror like every day? Like when you wake up in the morning, who is Carolyn?
It changes day to day. I'm a woman. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
It depends on what side of the bed I woke up on. But for the most part, man, I wake up. I'm a routine scheduled person. Like, I literally stick to a routine day in and day out, and it has to be routined out. And it's very hard to break a routine for me. And when I break a routine, like my day kind of goes to shit, and then I don't like what's happening. But like when it's go time and when I'm getting prepped and ready for a show, I look in the day and I see daily changes every day, and I'm driven and I'm motivated. And I look in the mirror every single morning because I have to send weight to my coach. I have to get up.
Do you still get up at 3 o'clock now that you ain't got that job no more?
No, I ain't got that job no more. I go to school. So I get up a little bit later. I get up at 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, man, that's 2 extra hours. But I know the one thing about me, and this is what sets me aside from maybe other people, is my dedication is always spot on during prep season. On off season, I'm gonna indulge in a cookie, you know, or something like that, and something I didn't have. It's off season. You are not, if you want to grow, you're not meant to have a 6-pack to grow. So if I lose my 6-pack, I don't, like, you'll hear me call myself fat, but I know I'm not fat, and I know I still look good. I don't have an image that I'm like, oh, because I'm still shoving my mouth. I ate 3 cookies today. I'm still shoving my mouth with cookies. I don't care. Right. But when I wake up and it's go time, it's a totally different character. You met that character at the very beginning. That's the character that you met, which was, sorry, I don't have time for this. Sorry, I don't have time for that. Sorry. And it's literally on the schedule, doing this, doing that. And I almost don't have a life, but I look in the mirror and I see what I'm doing. Like, you literally see the reflection of your hard work looking right back at you in the mirror. And when you see that, it's a whole different ballgame when you're like, granted, I have coaches that give me guidelines and give me guidance. I did the work. Right. I'm the one that decided, okay, there's a box of Little Debbie's over there, but I'm going to eat this rice and chicken over here and do that because I eat the same food every single day. And I do that. I started cutting in January, and I didn't stop cutting until after that last show in August. So when is your next show? Not till May. So I'm in off season right now. So this is like your bulking stage? Yeah, so I'm bulking, and you know me. I love bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is my sport. My passion is powerlifting. I know more about powerlifting than I do know about bodybuilding. Okay. Which is really weird, because like everyone's like, That's so wrong.
That's only like 3 lifts though, right? That's like deadlift, bench press, and squat,
In
right?
competition, yes, that's what you do. But to get those stronger,
you have to do this.
You have to do so.
Complementary work, rather.
Unlike bodybuilding, you unleash everything on stage, right? You show your good look and all your good work on stage. Well, when you're going to a powerlifting, it's those 3 lifts. All your hard work shows into your power and how strong you got.
Right.
Because with those 3 lifts, if you don't have strong hips and strong glutes, you're not going to squat good. You're not going to deadlift well. If you don't have strong triceps and you don't have good form, if you have weak triceps, your bench is going to be crap.
Yeah.
You're going to blow out a shoulder because you're probably benching like this instead of benching like this.
Yeah.
And you hear, like, I love the comment 90% of the time. So I just benched 205 the other day. And the number one
really good for a girl, right?
Yeah, I weigh 140 pounds and I benched 205. So I'm benching more than what I weigh. And when I say I can bench press you, I'm not joking 90% of the time. I can
you can't bench press me.
Hey, like, I'm getting there. You might be my next goal.
I'm like 225, 230.
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, I'm just saying.
And like when you asked how I went from bikini to figure, that's how. Powerlifting. Powerlifting gave me bigger and denser muscle because of the way that I actually had to form all the secondary muscles. So you was already in there basically. Yeah, when I came in, I was a scrawny little punk that was weak as hell. I could not powerlift with the life of me, and I couldn't deadlift. I looked like I got beat up by a damn midget when I deadlifted for the first time because he made me keep doing it with a little bar that weighed 10 pounds, and I kept hitting my shins with 10 pounds. And it's because I was forward. I was over the bar, so I kept whacking my shins. But he was making
like that wax on, wax off type of thing.
It was on top of my knees and all my shins. Yeah. It was so black and blue the next day.
Oh,
and I was like, oh my God. And I probably weighed 100 in, I think when I started powerlifting with Milton, it was right after I won my pro card, I weighed 120 pounds, around 120, 126 pounds. Now right now I'm sitting at like between 150 and 155 pounds.
Yeah.
And then on stage, I'm 136 pounds. So on stage, I literally have jumped almost 20 pounds just with powerlifting over the last 2.5 years.
So I guess my thing is like when I look at bodybuilding, I always ask the question, it's like the kind of thing that kind of trips me out is like I watch a lot of motivational videos and I look at like Kai Green and what was the Phil Heath? Mm-hmm. And so my thing is this is like, do you think that, how can you word it? I feel like, do you think that genetics plays a big part in a sense?
Hell yes.
So it's like, what if I work really, really hard and I'm in the gym 10 hours, whatever, and then you come in here and you don't got to work as hard as me, but you're blessed with maybe calf muscles, because I ain't got no calf muscles. So it's like, and you got this, and I'm like, how do you deal with that aspect of it?
So genetics is a big deal, and I always make fun of my friend Markia. She would always have more muscle than me, and I was like, it's those black genetics. You have higher testosterone. You guys carry higher testosterone. You already can outdo me because you have a better basis.
That's why they say white man can't jump. Yeah. Like black people, like, I mean, that's the thing. Let's just be honest. Like, African Americans do have athletically
a better body. Yeah, you guys do, and you guys, and it's not an unfair advantage because you know we can all get there. Right. But at the same time, when you are looking at all of that in play, it is such a trip to be like, okay, I'm gonna go from Kai Green.
Yeah, because I was rocking with my boy Kyle. Like, I'm like, I know he gonna win, and like I don't know nothing about bodybuilding, and I'm just looking at it.
That was such a heartbreak. I know, but
I don't even know Phil Heath, and I was like, I want him to lose.
And the thing about so the best way I can say it, in the long run, I really want to say hard work pays off. I really, really do, because you are more dedicated and you almost want it more than those genetic freaks that already have it, because they get fucking lazy. They get arrogant and lazy because they're like, what bitch, I already got it. Yeah. And then they come in and they don't work as hard, you know? And sooner or later, that's going to go back on them. I mean, like, look at Phil Heath. He's not Mr. Olympia no more. No. He got beat by what's the dude?
Sean
Roden, yeah. Sean Roden got his ass. Yeah. I am telling you. And when I could not believe it. But then he got Mr. Olympia and then he got lazy.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the hell? So in the long run, I do think arrogance will take a play, and you will get, your genetics won't matter anymore because you got arrogant and you got lazy.
Right.
And then if someone that really freaking wants it, whether they have genetic background where it, like you have smaller calves or I don't have, you should have seen my glutes when I first started.
Yeah.
I had none. I squatted my ass off for this butt, and I had to work my ass off for it. It took me 4 years to get this. Lino used to make fun of me all the time because I would walk around because I was doing, I've never not placed in a bikini show.
Yeah.
I've always placed in the top 5. So, little chip on my shoulder for the first year. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I just won my first, I got first place. Yeah, I got arrogant. Because I didn't know what I was doing, and I still did really good because I put in the dedication and the time.
Right.
But genetically, I lost my butt. I lost a lot of mass. And but I still, like, physically didn't see it because arrogance was shadowing it. Yeah. And here's Lino. And don't you know Mr. Lino? Gotta love him.
Yeah, Lino's a good guy.
Oh, I know. He calls all the bullshit out. He
Yeah.
called my bullshit out. And he's like, you walk around like you got some ass. And I go, I did. I got blah, blah, blah on this body competition. He goes, girl, you don't even know what you're doing. You're losing your ass. You keep doing it. He goes, what does he say? Arrogance makes a soft ass is basically what he does it, how he puts it. And it's so funny because it really, really does, because it will stand in your way. You can be humble and still be a winner and still be good, and then your drive will actually go further.
Yeah.
But once you get that arrogant side effect to you, you just kind of go downhill.
I think that I remember I was listening to this, I was listening to like Eric Thomas, and he had
I love him.
He was giving a motivational speech, and it's like goes right into what you were saying. It was like it was a scene. It's like now like going through this, and like I listened, everything that I listen to, every movie that I watch, I like try to pick up pieces from. And he talks about in Batman, right? When I forgot which Batman it was, but it was one with Bane in it, right? And he's like him and Batman like just fighting. They just like in the dark, like they just going at it. And then Batman starts to shoot the little lights out, pew pew, like so he shoots the little lights out, right? And then Bane just starts laughing. He was like, ha 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 ha, Batman. He's like, foolish you are. He's like, I was made in the darkness. You were just, he said you were born, something like along the lines of that you weren't born in the darkness. He's like, you've accepted the darkness, but I was born in it. I was made in the darkness. So with that being said, he was like, I hate that I'm messing it up, but he was basically saying that your arrogance has killed you. It has made you weak. In a sense of like Batman shooting the lights out, he thinking like, oh, like I'm finna be at some advantage. And Bane was like, what? Like that don't mean nothing to me. He's like, I was made in this. You accepted this. I was born in this. So when we talk about like the arrogance aspect, like, and I think that's something that can be related to in life. Is like we get to we win a show, we make it to the CrossFit Games, or we win a competition, and it makes us so we was like, oh, now we can take a step back. We get the job that we want, or whatever the case may be, and we feel like now we have some sense of accomplishment. And that's why I always tell people, you gotta stay hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Like the goal isn't a medal. It's not this show, or it's not this job. It's not. You have to always wake up every day and have a new goal or something that you're striving for, because once we get it, and it's like you get there and you're like, oh, it's not what you think it's gonna be, and you like,
never is.
Yeah, you get there and you're like, man, like this ain't what I thought it was gonna take, or what it's gonna be, and we're weakened by our accomplishments. So in a sense, it's like everything that we've accomplished, everything that we worked so hard for, has actually made us weak, because now we feel like we can take a time off. Like you lose that dog, and I remember from my personal aspect is like. When I played AAU basketball, and we had this tournament. It was called the Great American Shootout, and we was playing against OJ Mayo and all these other teams like that, right? So we make it to in my mind, I was like, man, we just need to make it to this round, XYZ, and we finally make it to the round, and then it's like, we did what we set out to do.
Now what?
But now what? Yeah, and it's like it don't feel the same, because it was like. And then we get smoked by a team that we were way better than, because we were arrogant. and we start playing, and then now it's 2 minutes on the clock, and we down 10 points, and it's like, what do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
Because we were weakened by arrogance, and they had that dog in them. They wanted to win, and we was just like, oh, this is just going to be another team. And you see that in college sports where you underestimate your competitors because you feel like you're at a certain point that you work so hard, and then you just piss it away basically at the very end.
Yep.
So, yeah, that part is crazy.
The arrogance is a thing, and then the staying hungry. Like, I don't know how many other people have this issue, like with bodybuilding and body. Like, well, you know, you work on your body.
Right.
It is important for you to look good, and that, you know, when you look at yourself, I know one thing that I know where I'm successful is I'm never happy.
Yeah, you can never be to be successful.
I look in the mirror and I see the changes. Like I said, that drives me. Like, I'm like, oh wow, bigger shoulders today. Oh wow, I can see striations. Oh wow, look at this vein. Like, when you're cutting, and when the cutting like really starts to happen, it happens so fast. People are like, how'd you lose 20 pounds so fast? It's not because I wasn't dieting for 20 weeks.
They say steroids.
Oh my God. And that's an area, we'll get into that subject. I hate that subject. But yeah, but it's not that fast. I've been cutting for 20 weeks. You're just now seeing it once, and literally once that fat starts to drop off and you are actually getting into more closer to single digits, you look different every single day, and people are now noticing it.
They can see it.
Yeah, now that they can see it. And I was seeing it every single day because I'm looking in the mirror every single day
Right.
trying to pay attention. They're not. So then all of a sudden you take off your shirt and they're like, oh, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen a guy the other day, and he's like, holy shit, Carolyn, you're getting big. I was like, you call me fat mofo? He goes, no, big. I was like, I know. Okay. And I do. I get big because I can lift heavy now.
Right.
Now I'm not worried about injury and stuff like that, so I'm getting bigger, right? So when you look, like right now, I look in the mirror, and I see something I'm not happy with. I hate looking in the mirror because it's not cut out on a six-pack. It's not what I'm used to. I spent half of my year lean as hell. So this is chubby for me. This is 20 pounds extra on my weight and on my body that I actually feel. I feel it. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Right.
But I know what I need to do to be stronger. You need a bigger mass. Right. And you do need fat to build into muscle to get bigger when you're a natural competitor. You don't have the drugs to help boost that. You don't have the extra testosterone to boost that, and especially for a girl. You know, we don't have high testosterone.
Right.
And then when you look at the cutting stage, I would look in the mirror every day and be like, what the fuck is happening? I know I got a 22 pack, but it's not good enough. Where's the 32 pack? Like, my picture, I think it's a profile picture on Facebook, the one with the abs.
Mm-hmm.
I took that picture. I hated that picture.
Because you wanted to be leaner?
I thought, I was like, this isn't good enough. I'm not posting this. Like, the picture itself was phenomenal. Like, the photographer got the shadowing. It looked great. But, like, I was looking at that and I was like...
Because you're never satisfied.
Oh, no, it wasn't good. And then now, like, I look back at it now and I'm going... Because now I can look back at it. And now I look back at it and I'm like, holy fuck. And then I put, like, the comparison from when I started to there. I don't know if you saw that one, but there was one from 2012 of my abs to 2019 of my abs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Holy crap. Tell me that wasn't... It doesn't look like the same person.
No, it doesn't.
It's insane. And so, like, I can now look back at that and say, holy crap. But, like, if I'm looking, like you said, who am I in the mirror? Depending on exactly what time it is, what I'm doing, I'm never satisfied.
Never.
So, that keeps me hungry to see more and want more. But it doesn't make me say, per se, I'm so hungry that I want to look like a man or go into physique or anything like that.
Right. So, I guess, I got one more question. So, like, how has this lifestyle affected your personal life? Like, your social life, rather, not your personal life, because that's your business. But, like, how has it affected your social life? Social life
and personal life, it's taken a crazy good and bad turn. So there's a lot of positives and a lot of negatives out of it. I'm not scared to say it and stuff like that. I do feel like half of it is the reason why I got a divorce. Because my life went into a different direction and I got really passionate with it. So I'm spending more time at the gym than I am with my husband. So I cheated on my husband with the gym, basically. And you know, when you don't spend enough time with your significant other, things just kind of go downhill and whatnot. So lost a relationship and haven't had relationships since then because of it. Because guess where I'm at? You know this.
At the gym?
I'm at the gym. What are you doing? I'm at the gym. Where are you at? I'm at the gym. If not, I'm at school or at work. So I don't go out. You know this. I don't ever really do anything with anybody. I literally wake up, I fix breakfast, I go to the gym from The gym, I go straight to school. Straight from school, I come back to the gym. And then right after that, I have to be in bed by 9:30 because I got to wake up and do it again. Right. And that's 7 days a week right now because school is 6 days a week. Plus, I try to stay with my tutor on Monday. So for me, it's 7 days a week. And that's how I play it. And that's my school time every single time. So having an actual personal life, I haven't had a boyfriend. I haven't... How many times have me and you got to hang out? Like what, 2 or 3 times at the most? Right. And it's been... almost 8 months. It feels like 8 months. It's been a while.
So do you want something like that?
I always say I want it. Like the thought of it is so awesome to have that person, you know, that's right there, that's supporting you and stuff. And I really, really like it. But then when I look at the reality of my life, where do I have time for that? Because that person does have to have some of your time. When you don't even have time for yourself.
So when is enough though? Like at what point were you gonna be like, all right?
When I am satisfied with my goals and I hit where I want to be. When I am where I'm... So, one, get out of school, get my business established.
Okay, with the body tempering, right?
The body tempering and the sports massage therapy. So, getting chopped up and running, get the ribbon cutting. The business is established, like people know about it, and it's doing well. But getting up and, like, out and open where it's actually its own business.
Right.
And definitely getting school done.
So basically, you're a bodybuilder / entrepreneur / women's activist type of thing. You got like all of these different things going on.
I do. And I think once I get done with school, that right there will maybe lead open to where there's a possibility for a relationship. Just because I know I have tried it. And I dated like 1 or 2 people. And they're like, we can handle it, we can handle it. Oh boy, they couldn't handle it. And when you start, especially if I'm in on season and you're going to cut into where I don't wake up in time or I don't get enough sleep because you already know I don't.
Yeah.
And now you're cutting into that time. And then definitely if you make me late for the gym or you make me miss a gym, oh no.
So you just snap.
Bye-bye. The goal comes first. Reason why? I come first. That goal is me. That goal is what established me. A lot of people don't even
understand that though. You gotta say that again because most people ain't gonna understand that.
Oh, that I come first? I am the most important person. I have one person to take care of and that's me. I have one body. That's my body to take care of. And what I am doing is establishing my empire. I'm making an empire for myself. And once I get what I want, then I can add people to that empire and build a village for my empire. How are you going to have a castle and an empire if you don't have anything to have a foundation on?
I mean, that's true.
It's just like I tell people all the time, if you don't love yourself, you can't love another person. Okay? If you're not established in life, how are you going to add people into this life and have a decent, bounded life? You're not going to. You're going to have a roller coaster of bullshit.
But see, you got to see that part, I think that you gotta you can't just run over it like it's something so small because a lot of times with people, they don't appreciate that and it's always like, oh, I'm 30 years old, like I ain't got no girlfriend. This is what needs to happen first. And it's like, if you don't take care of you, you know, and that's why I hate the term when people they'll say something like, oh my God, like you complete me. I'm like, so you weren't a whole person before this person even came in your life? So like, they complete you? Like, what were you before? So if I leave, are you going to like die? Like, are you going to like just fail to exist? And I think that people have to understand there's nothing wrong with being who you are first, right? There's nothing wrong with taking care of you first. That's why like a lot of times like I get up at 4:30 and people like, well, Jay, you don't want to work a 9 to 5? Like, I value my freedom over money. So it's like, I get up at 4:30 now because I want to get up at 4:30 because I have certain goals that I want to taste. And it's like, I'm not going to let nobody stand in the way of that because if I don't reach my goals, where are you going to be if I'm not successful, right? And that's why I always tell people, like, even with the podcast and things like that, everybody wants to get on the bandwagon once they're successful. But like we talked about in the last podcast, nobody wants to, if they weren't helping me push my car, then you can't sit at the table when I eat. You know
exactly.
So yeah, there's that.
That's just one thing. I value who I am and I value who's in my life. And the people, if you don't add value to my life, you're not going to be in it. It's just that one thing.
So you believe that if you're not adding value, then you're taking away from it?
Yeah, if you're a negative person, you're taking away my positive energy. I don't need that. Bye. And
you'd like already be bouncing off the walls.
It's like 7 o'clock at night. I'm ready to go because I've been in a car all day. So this is my first out of being in a car all day. But yeah, I'm an outgoing person, and I want people that are going to come into my life that are going to help me, push me. And if you know anything about me, I do the same thing. Yeah. I give up a lot of my time for my clients, for my people. I push things back for the people that I know would do it for me.
Right.
Like, I don't do it just because I feel like, oh, I need to. I do have a hard time saying no to the people I care about because I want what's best for them. Right. And if I have to give up a little bit of me, that's fine. But there is one part of me where I will not budge, and that's my goals. You will not stand in the way of my goals because that is what is going to make me have a better life in the long run. Right. And if I don't have a career and I don't have money, I'm not a money person, but you know, I want to live nice. I don't need $1 million, but I need enough to have my car, have my house, and be able to pay my bills and live respectfully.
And be a strong, independent woman by yourself.
Exactly.
First.
I don't. You already know me. My most thing. I hate when people are like, "I need you." You want to say that to me again? Because I will say bye to you in 2 seconds. Don't ever tell me you need me. I don't like needy people.
100%.
And I need me more than me. And you already know 1,000 people need me. Yeah. And I already feel like I got 20 arms being pulled on. I don't need any man telling me they need me. I will say bye real quick.
You need that guy. This is like
I want you to want me, not need me.
Right.
There's a whole difference. So.
All right. So let's see. So as we, wrap this thing up, let me ask you this: What are 3 things? I always call these diamonds, or like I guess you could say points of performance, in the sense of how can we improve. I guess what are 3 things that you would love to communicate to society or the next generation or the woman out there listening to this who feels like she needs a man, or the girl who's like, oh, I want to do bodybuilding, but I don't want to look like a man not because she doesn't want to look like a man, but because people tell her like
what society thinks.
Like, give me your 3 top points.
I would say 1, who gives a fuck what anybody else thinks?
Yeah.
You have one life to live for you, not for anybody else.
Right.
If you're gonna live for somebody else, well, you're just going to go down a really lonely disaster of a life. It's not going to be fulfilling by any means, I think, if you live for somebody else and not for yourself. Because at this point, you're making them happy, not yourself. Fair. So live for yourself. When it comes to the bodybuilding aspect, and who cares what other people think? Who cares if you think I'm too muscular? Okay. No offense, I'm going to point at you. Am I dating you? Do I know you? No. But if you like me, you're going to be around me, not because I have muscles. I think it's funny because, like, I did a chiropractor the other day. First time ever clinical at school. He even knew it. He's like, he judged me right as he walked in. Which I'm not going to lie, he judged right. But he's like, I knew I was going to be sore from this massage just when I saw you walk in. Oh, yeah, I cause a lot of pressure. Sorry. But you judge me based on my looks. Yeah. What if I have the most gentlest touch you ever know?
Right.
But don't judge a character just because they're big. They could be the coolest fucking person you ever met. Muscles are muscles. Don't be scared and intimidated by it. And most people that judge your muscles are judging you because they're a lazy fucker that isn't going to be doing the work that you're going to be doing. So they're jealous of what you have. Right. So who cares what other people think?
So they feel like they got to like downplay you to make themselves.
Oh, yeah. It's just like the steroid thing. Most of the people that say, oh, she's on steroids is because they're a lazy fuck and they're jealous of what I have and that I put the work for it. I'm not on steroids. Drug test me. Go right ahead. I have no problem. I even have drug tests for all my pro cards on my competitions.
I mean, that's the same thing about me. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Joe, you on steroids? Okay. I mean, if I was on steroids, I ain't going to be in Northwest Arkansas. That's for sure.
It's so funny to listen because I'll come in with a cold or anything like that. And they're like, oh, your voice has changed. I have a sniffling nose and I can't breathe. Of course my nose has changed, but you know what they're leaning towards. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not coming out going, my name's Carl, how are you? You would know immediately if I was doing steroids. Right. So I just find it like most jealous people are just lazy. And that's just, your haters are your motivators. Right. Use it.
Number 2.
All right. So, I already said live for yourself. Haters are motivators. Oh, we're on number 3.
Okay, what's number 3 then?
Just be happy.
Be happy, huh?
You can wake up and you set your mindset every single day. As soon as you roll out of bed. You roll out of bed and you just say today's going to be a good day. You're going to make it happen. I can't control you. I can control you. And I can't control you. 100%. There's a lot of things that I can't control. But you know.
I'm a beast.
I kick your ass. But anyway. But I can't control other people. What I can control is how I emotionally react to those other people and the outcome. So I literally have control of my whole day, of my personality. You didn't make me have a bad day. I made myself have a bad day.
Accountability,
Yeah. So control your day and control your moods. Everybody's going to have a bad day. Everybody has drama going on in their life. Everybody has something.
Right.
Don't feed into it. Look at the positive. If you look mostly at what you have going on, I have a couple of bad things going on in my life, but I have 30 amazing things happening at one time.
Right.
If you pay attention to those 30 amazing things, or even if it's one or two amazing things going on in your life, the little crappy things that are happening are not a big deal anymore. So just wake up positive and happy and look at the brighter outcome of things. And even if you're going through something shitty, like I went through some bullshit, look at all the great things I got out of it. Look, it might be a shitty situation, but there's something awesome happening underneath that shitty situation.
Right.
But you're so blinded by the negativity to even see it.
That you don't even see the
Exactly.
stuff that's
So bring yourself out of the negativity. Talk to people if something's bothering you with them, and there's something positive laying there if you just look at it. So if you just wake up happy and set your mindset to being a positive person every day, you're going to have a lot better day, life, and people, no offense, will like you better because you're not such a bitch.
Yeah.
So,
Carolyn, tell the people if they want to get body tempering or like even they want to sign up as one of your athletes, like where can they find you at?
you can find me at J Street Gym. So I am constantly there. If you see the green Camaro, I'm there. If I'm not there, I'm in school. So there's only two places I'm going to be.
We're in the age of social media, so I would...
Oh, if you want that, oh yeah. I don't. Do I social media? I don't think I do that.
Yeah, you do. A lot.
Nah, not me.
You have...
Selfie.
You post something every 30 seconds on your story, and I just be like, oh, there go Carolyn again. I know this is going to be motivational. Boom, I need to go work out now. So where can they find you on like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat?
Gotcha. So if you go to Facebook, it's Carolyn Jamison IPE Pro. Instagram is Carolyn Jamison 45. And then you can find the body tempering in anything that deals with reconstructing your broken self. And some motivational stuff, but when I say broken self, I'm literally talking about your broken self.
Yeah.
Not mentally, but physically. You can go to Chopped, Carl's House of Pain on Instagram, and the Chop has period between each letter. But Chop House is where I can come up and clean you up and fix you if you're broken.
Okay, fair enough. So I always like to end every podcast with like a quote, right? Something so deep that people got like, have all week to think about it, right? So the quote that I have today is coming from a guy, and I think that this kind of like feeds exactly into like what you were talking about. But he says, "You will write me off. You will not give me my due. You will classify me as a failure. You will say that I was a fool. And you will call me mediocre. You will call me a man who had no talents. And all these are merely just labels. Nothing will matter to me, but what will matter is that the children and the grandchildren of coming generations will read my words and be inspired to keep up through their struggle. Their struggle is to chase their dreams. The struggle is never to give up on your dreams, and I may be hailed as a hero by next generations when today I was classified as a fool. That is what the only thing that will matter."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Perfect.
I appreciate you coming on today. I think that we talked a whole lot, and I think that people who listen to this can gain a whole lot from this conversation. And I just want to say it was an honor and a pleasure to have you on today.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed this. And not bad for my first time, right? I told you I talked a lot.
Hey, it's more appreciative because, like, if you heard from the first episode to now, like, it's a major difference. So, I appreciate that, and I hope that y'all, if you like it, please share.
Baby, you got questions I need, and I'm asking for a